Well, I mean, since last time, me and NLE Choppa, I don't know if you noticed, me and him started going back and forth on Twitter.
I didn't notice that.
Right. Me and him started going back and forth. It was over some of his claims of healing cancer and all this other type of shit.
That's what y'all was beefing over?
It wasn't really, I mean, it was kind of over that. It was basically, he claimed that he could cure Justin Bieber of whatever disease he had. And we did an article about it. And then he was like, stop reporting on me, you bitch, or something, chump. And I responded to him.
What'd you say to him?
I call him a snake oil salesman.
You call him what?
A snake oil salesman.
Oh.
That's basically a scam.
What does that mean? Oh.
It's back in like the 1800s. I think it actually started from Chinese.
You could have came up with a better one than that.
Yo, that shit stuck.
It did.
All the motherfucking publications started running this whole snake oil salesman.
Okay.
Snake oil salesman, he didn't even know what it meant. I looked it up.
What?
It actually came from like when America was being built, like the Chinese community would actually take real snake oil and sell it as like a cure-all kind of situation. Well, you take snake oil and it'll cure you of whatever ailment you have. And people who basically started selling fake medicines started being called snake oil salesmen, even though they weren't really using snake oil at the time. So anyways, me and him started going back and forth over Twitter, and like everyone's retweeting the shit and all the blogs are picking up on it. And he was like,
he didn't even know what to respond. He was like, what the fuck is this snake oil salesman?
Yeah, no, but he's calling me a bitch. I'm calling him a bitch. He's calling me like a bitch ass something, and I'm like, you're a wannabe something. I'm like, you're a wannabe NBA young boy.
Was going back.
We were really
no,
going back
you call him a wannabe NBA young boy.
I put the pictures next to each other. Anyways,
that hurt. That hurt way more than the snake oil salesman.
Possibly. But anyways, we're going back and forth, and at one point he was like, can't wait to run into you. I'm gonna give you a big hug. And my response was like, you don't have to wait to run into me. You could do an interview right now, face to face. If you're man enough to do it.
Wow.
Right? And we left it at that.
And what'd he say?
He didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing. But I'm like, let's go. Like if you like you know what I mean? Like I'm prepared to sit down.
How many
with
views
you.
would that have gotten?
Well, here's what happened. I was on the phone maybe a day later with academics, and he was like, yo, I know him. Y'all should just talk it out. Y'all should do an interview. And I'm like, yeah, let's talk it out. Because he's like, yo, like, I know I know Choppa, and his persona in person is actually a very respectful young man. Like, a lot of times he's with his mother who manages him and stuff like that. Like, his online persona is not exactly who he is as a person. So I think the two of y'all would actually have a good conversation. So I was like, sure. So he put us on the phone with each other.
You spoke to him?
And we spoke.
Did you record it?
No. No, I don't record phone calls, man. No, I don't do that fuck shit. I hate when people do it to me.
People do that, man. Like,
yeah. I've had it happen to me multiple times, and
Right.
they put it on their fucking YouTube channel. I fucking hate that shit. And a lot of times that prevents people from working shit out, because there's lots of people that I feel I could have a conversation with, but I feel they'll also record it.
Right.
So I don't have those kind of conversations. But we got on the phone, and it was actually really respectful. It was like, yo, we don't agree about certain things, but we also respect each other's opinion. And we made an agreement to actually have an interview like that next week. And he showed up.
Oh, yeah, I did the interview.
In this room.
It's out already?
Face to face. It's been out.
Oh, shit. Damn, I'm out the loop.
I had 2 armed security.
Did you really?
Guards in the room just in case some fuck shit popped out. But it wasn't like that. It was like, he gave me a hug, like in real life. It was like, yo, he gave me a hug. Okay. And we talked it out. And it was like.
But it wasn't about nothing. It was about
some ego shit.
Yeah. That's what
and it really was like.
How did that interview go?
It went great. Millions, like 4 million people watched it.
Yeah.
And if you look all down the comments, everyone's like, yo, man, like, I'm really impressed how these 2 men actually work shit out. Respectfully. And it's not like either one of us really budged off our positions. It wasn't like one of us just bowed to the other person. I was like, listen, like.
Yeah, but y'all also in different places. You know what I'm saying? Like, he seems like he's like what you say. He seems like he's a little more reasonable than other people may be. You know what I'm saying? And you are reasonable. You're like Mr. Reasonable, I think, sometimes.
I think so.
Sometimes.
Most times. And yeah, like, my thing was, I respect your intentions over what you do. I just feel like some of these claims of being able to cure things like cancer, which are incurable, by just saying that you cured it, sets up a lot of false hope for people. You know what I mean? It could potentially be dangerous because a lot of people are going through this disease and might be spiritual or might be African American and are looking at you as a beacon of hope and might stop doing traditional chemotherapy or whatever else because they're believing in what you're selling essentially and end up dying in the process.
Right. The snake oil.
The snake oil. Like, I feel that's a dangerous thing. And what I did was, before the interview, I had Dr. Khan, who's this medical doctor from Las Vegas that's been curing, not curing, but been treating patients, especially with COVID and stuff like that, and has been, treating with, cancer patients as well. He made a video basically talking about, hey, listen, this is what cancer is. This is why it's hard to cure. And actually, I do believe, I even tell my patients that certain herbal, herbal things that that NLE Choppa has recommended, some of those actually do help.
I still advocate for people to do things to help with their immune systems, to take herbal medications. It's not just mugwort, but we got garlic, onion, beta carotene, flaxseed, things that people can do in addition to being treated by medications by their physician. So I just, I don't like giving people false hope or a sense of false hope that there's going to be this magic cure for their cancer.
So, it wasn't like, yo, you're wrong, fuck you. I was like, look, some of the shit you're saying actually has validity and actual medical doctors are co-signing it. But some of the stuff, not so much.
Right.
And he was like, yo, okay, I could respect that.
Right.
And it turned out to be a cool conversation. We still keep in touch. We hugged it out. There's a video of us like with our fists up, pretending to fight.
That's funny.
And yeah, man, like I wish that I could work shit out with more people like that.
Right.
But unfortunately,
who would you work it out with if you
who would I work it out with?
Right. One person that you would work it out with if you could.
It had to be one of those things where, I think with me and Choppa, it worked out because there wasn't a long history of shit.
Right.
Like, I don't think me and Joe Budden will ever work things out and be cool with each other.
Right.
Even though Joe, like on, when Joe did Academics podcast, he said, oh, I'd be willing to talk to Vlad on Academic show. Like, yeah, I'd be open to do it. But then like a week later, he called me a piece of shit over some other shit. And I'm like, why am I going to work it out with this dude when a week later he's now talking shit about me again?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So certain people, I feel like you don't have to work it out with everyone. Some people, you guys just don't get along. You don't have to do business. We could all be successful in our own, in our own field without having to have a conversation, be all kumbaya.
Right.
I feel like with certain people, you could work shit out with them, but in some near future situation, they'll go back to the way they were again. They just don't like you inherently.
Right.
For reasons that you can't talk them out of.
Right.
And that's okay.
Right. Everybody ain't meant to make up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like some people are just better off you go that way.
Just keep their distance.
Huh.
And I feel with a Joe, we're really better off just keeping our distance.
Right.
I don't think me and him will actually be friends or business associates or anything else like that. I think we're better off. I have my platform, he has his. The two don't really intersect all that much.
Right.
But yeah, man, listen, some situations are fixable, some are not. And I don't feel the need to try to fix things with everybody because it just, in my,
Experience.
in my experience on all the years I've been here, I just know you cannot fix things with everybody.
Right.
You might have the best intentions.
And yeah.
But some people, I feel like some people it just runs deeper. It'd be like, some people may just not like Asians.
Right.
You know what I mean? You could be the coolest Asian on the planet. You could break every stereotype. You could talk to the dude. You could help him break through some of his misconceived notions, but there's something inherently in him based on the way he was raised or maybe some experiences he had where he's just not going to be cool with Asians.
Right.
He's not going to have any Asian friends. And ultimately, y'all could become cool, and there's going to be one thing that you might say that might trigger him to go right back to the way he was again. And I think there's a lot of people like that. And I've accepted that.